Hi, welcome to TCEA Remote Learning. You can find out more about remote learning through tcea.org/remote learning. My name is Miguel Gulen. I'm a Director of Professional Development for TCEA. You can reach me on Twitter at mglearn. Today's topic is going to be to unleash Microsoft Teams for teaching and learning. If you ever wish you had a virtual classroom, a digital assistant, perhaps a shared virtual space, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft OneNote, Wakelet, and Flipgrid are fantastic tools that come together to make teaching and learning easier. Since we're focused on unleashing Microsoft Teams, most of our time today will be spent sort of looking at Microsoft Teams as well as some of the phenomenal resources that the Microsoft folks, especially Mike Tholfsen and many others, have put together for you to check out and use. So today's session is a little bit more of viewing resources and accessing amazing content. So let's take a quick look at some of the amazing content that's out there. Uh, as you can see, the Microsoft team has already anticipated some of what our needs are. They've created a whole video that walks through some exciting Microsoft Teams resources and content. In fact, they've created a slideshow, which I've embedded here. This is an excerpt from their slideshow because their original slideshow is about 80 slides, and I trimmed it down to about 24. But you can find the original full 80 slideshow right here on this presentation deck original copy. I'm not going to go through the whole slideshow. I just want to quickly show you some of the things that are there. One of the great things that you'll find under the Quick Start Guide section here is this Teams EDU Quick Start Guide. For me, I think this is a wonderful place to start. If you already know about Teams, then this is going to be a great resource to start with. We're going to take a quick look at it in just a second, but I thought we might start out with a Microsoft Teams Essential. This is a short video. You're certainly welcome to skip ahead if you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and play this video.
Microsoft Teams for Education, the online hub for your real-time classroom. Here, you'll find a team for every class, PLC, and staff group. Let's check out a class team. Create a new class team, and the general channel will show up automatically. Other channels you get to create yourself for different topics, student groups, or units. And the organizing doesn't end there. All channels come with chat and files tabs to sort conversations and materials. The Chat tab is a great space for announcements, class discussions, and questions. When you share a document in the Chat tab, you'll find it automatically saved in the Files tab too, so you and your students can quickly find that one document without scrolling through weeks or months of conversation. If you want your students to access but not edit files that they'll use all the time, you can add them to the Class Materials folder, where only teachers can make changes. You and your students can also start fresh and work on something new, without leaving Teams. In your general channel, tabs enable even more classroom work with built-in Class Notebook and Assignment tabs. With Class Notebook, students can access a private notebook right in Teams. When it's time to assign work to your students, select your Assignments tab, create your assignment or quiz, and send it off to a class, an individual student, or multiple classes. To study up on all things Microsoft Teams for Education, check out support.office.com/education.
So as you can see, there's just a lot to Microsoft Teams. I really don't think we could cover the entire breadth of this, but there are some great ways to get started. And there's another great video here. It's about using Immersive Reader in Microsoft Teams. And this is actually a principal sort of sharing her insights. But all of these resources are available. And if you take a quick look at the Teams for Education Quick Start Guide, one of the really amazing things I think is that you can sort of see a very nice layout of Microsoft Teams. You can certainly see this bar over here on the left hand side and how you can access a lot of the activities between the feed, the chat, Teams assignments, and calendar and files. All of that is right there in your activity. And then you can organize your teams and also find additional apps that you can use, such as Flipgrid. Um, there's also your search type or command box up here, and it's not a bad place to ask questions or try to look for tutorials that may be available. As you continue, you can sort of see what this looks like in terms of a class team. And the layout, one of the things I want to call your attention to is the class notebook and the individual channels that you can use to sort of set your students up and manage your teams. If we were to take a quick, let me close that. If we were to take a quick look at when you set up a Microsoft team, and hopefully your Microsoft teams, your class teams are already set up, but if not, you can always click on class and create your class. What will happen is that it will create you'll have a sort of a empty team. And at this point, you can go in and begin to customize it. You can come over here, you can add channels to sort of guide conversations. You can add members to different channels if you have students already enrolled. As you can see, across the top, there's the files area, and this is where you can post any resources that students will be accessing. You can even start the process of creating your class notebook and have that ready to go if you don't already have one set up. My guess is that many of you, if you've been using Microsoft Teams, are able to or have already set this up. So you're pretty much probably ready to go. And you can begin having your conversations with students and working with them. Notice that when you set up a new team, you have access to help and training, and of course, there is quite a bit more of what's available. Now, if you want to just do a quick meeting in Teams, maybe you're using Teams to interact with your students in this way, you can click on Meet Now or schedule a meeting, and that will probably let you set an appointment up in Outlook, and you'll be able to get going with that. Remember that the Quick Start Guide provides you with sort of a walkthrough of what the interface looks like, and I think this would be a great resource to either have on a second screen or print out so that you would have it easily available. It walks you through the process of scheduling a meeting and with your team or class and getting going. It also breaks down the different roles that you're going to have as organizer, presenter versus attendee, and then additional options. So definitely check out the Teams for Education Quick Start guide, and all of that is available here. There are also some really phenomenal resources I'm just going to quickly click on so you can see them. That sort of jumped out at me. I really like this Make Remote Learning Effective and Engaging. If you scroll down, you'll find some suggestions or tips for educators about having interactive discussions, showing a film, moderating class discussions through the muting students, etc. And there's quite a bit more here that you can certainly check out and see. You will also see a link to Making the Transition to Remote Learning. And again, this is really specific to COVID-19, but as you can see, there is a little bit more information on moving to a virtual classroom, how to get your school set up, a quick start guide, best practices and guides for parents, and then additional training for support. And I think this is really where Microsoft has distinguished itself in terms of having lots of great content. They have cheat sheet guides for IT admins, cheat sheet guides for teachers and students, as well as a step-by-step video on online classes and lectures with all your students. So these are all great resources to check out and explore. Now, I do want to call your attention. I mean, this is the slideshow, and in that slideshow, there's actually a schedule for remote learning webinar series. So if you haven't seen this, you can actually go in and watch the recording for all of these events, which have already passed, And all you have to do is click on that link that's right there at the top, and it would take you to the webinar schedule. So if you had a home and family center with Flipgrid, that's actually Joey Tarleson from Flipgrid doing that presentation. Staff collaboration and remote learning, doing PD remotely. All of these are great topics that you may need to explore and go through. Now, if you don't have Microsoft Teams, maybe on your home computer, maybe you're using a work computer, or maybe you're stuck in a browser just like I am, using a different device. What you can do is really run in the browser. All you have to do is go to teams.microsoft.com, and you'll be all set to go. And I have the links here. You can just connect to Microsoft Teams online via the web browser. That's especially true for your students if they're connecting via Chromebook, but it can also be true for you. You can also install the software on your computer, Microsoft Teams, and download that for your Mac or your Windows computer. Again, there are some videos that are here. Also, there are a few features that aren't available, and these are usually ones that rise to the top. And kudos to Microsoft for pointing this out right away. They are working on these. They don't currently have a way for teachers to end the meeting, or download attendance or raise their hand. So they're working very hard on getting these features ready. Who knows, they may already have them by now by the time you watch this video. In terms of focusing on what is available, there's a whole series of quick tip videos that you can watch. This is YouTube that sort of walks you through. It's not just Teams, it's also Microsoft Education, but you can see there's one on Immersive Reader and Microsoft Teams, how to use the OneNote math features, meeting options, live captions, and a lot more. Obviously, you could spend a lot of time just sitting here and go in brain overload in terms of watching these. Alice Keeler has also put together some Microsoft Teams videos for specific tasks that you can check out. And as you can see, there's just different resources here that you can take advantage of. For your convenience, I've sort of pulled out those slides that sort of cover the basic user interface for class teams and teams, and made them available for you. Um, there's also a whole section on Microsoft Teams for higher education. You can just click on this graphic and it will take you there. But as you can see, there's a lot of different topics here. Introducing students to Microsoft Teams, Teams Advanced for IT pros, and even more that aren't listed in this screenshot. Now, if you're using Microsoft Teams, you probably noticed there was that whole section on OneNote Class Notebook, and that's one of the great benefits of Teams, is that it allows you to integrate your OneNote Class Notebook so that you can create assignments in Teams and they can be filtered out or transferred out through OneNote Class Notebook, and that's very convenient. But as you can see here, this great diagram by Megan Towns, I've included the source here in case you want to go take a closer look at it. She actually details how OneNote fits into each one of these different types of teams. So for a class team, you get a class notebook. For a professional learning community, the notebook can be edited by anyone and is connected to Notes tab and channels. And then for a staff notebook, you get your staff notebook, and then of course the other stuff. So there are, again, lots of great resources available that you can access, and I do encourage you to check them out at here's the link to ly.tca.org/unleash teams, and you'll be able to catch these videos as well as peruse the slide deck. I think I'm going to end this with this short mention of Immersive Reader, which is a great addition. And if you saw the Microsoft Accessibility TCEA remote learning episode, then you're probably familiar with Immersive Reader, but I don't think I talked about how Immersive Reader works in Microsoft Teams. So let's finish with this short video from this principal.
Hi, I'm Abby, a principal. Did you know you can hear posts, chat messages, and assignments read aloud using Immersive Reader in Microsoft Teams for Education? Let me show you how. Begin by going to office.com and click the Teams icon. Then head over to your class team. Right there, you're going to start with messages. Hover over a message with your mouse or tap your finger on a touchscreen device. Select more options here. Then click Immersive Reader. Okay, now say you're in the Assignments tab. Open an assignment and select Student View. Then click this icon, Immersive Reader. Your students will see the same thing. Depending on how you'd like to, focus on the message or assignment text. You can do a lot with it. Select Play to hear your document read aloud and see the text highlighted at the same time.
Ocean's Essay. Category, Essay.
You can change the appearance of your document by using text options. Text options can help you focus on your content and remove visual distraction. Set text size, spacing, font, and themes that suit your learning needs. Immersive Reader also includes grammar tools such as parts of speech, picture dictionary, and line focus. And we can't forget Translate. Turn your text into other languages by word or document. What are you waiting for? Give it a try today for free.
So let me encourage you to give Microsoft Teams and other Microsoft resources a try. Thanks for watching. Remember that you can catch other episodes of TCEA Remote Learning at tca.org/remote-learning. Take care.